Hi, I'm Eleanor, and welcome to this week's episode of the Intuition Lab. One thing you hear over and over again is the importance of being authentic, just being yourself. But the truth is, that may prove to be incredibly disruptive. So, this week, I'm going to be talking about what happens when you finally find the courage to be yourself and it creates a whole lot of difficulty in your life, and what to do about it. Before we get started, if you like what you hear during this episode, I invite you to please like, subscribe, and share because this will help the message that I am trying to spread reach people who actually need to hear it. So let's get started. Being authentic will change your energy, and the people around you may not like it. It's personally rewarding to be yourself, to be in your own energy, something I've spoken about in earlier episodes. But what do you do when the people around you have a real problem with it without you having done anything? There's this fallacy of everything in your life just falling into place once you're in your own energy and on your path. And I will say it does in the end, or it does further down the road, but things may fall apart first. Why is that? Well, it's because your energy in whatever maladaptive patterns you'd adopted, be it people pleasing, ignoring your intuition, explaining painful things away when people do things that just don't sit right with you. Your energy was a match for that. And you're in your environment, you've created this sort of equilibrium where you compromise yourself. It feeds the energy of people and situations around you, and everything seems to be going along swimmingly, except for you, of course. But when you change, you are no longer a match to that environment. You've grown, and the environment around you no longer sustains you or that delicate balance that was in place. It's simply no longer a match for who you are. You may need to move on physically, but you will definitely have to change energetically, and you have. But you will have to put better boundaries, better guidelines in place, create new expectations, and all of this can be deeply unsettling. A second truth is that when you step into your own energy, you become either a mirror or a trigger to others. What does this mean? When you step into your own energy and you start to vibrate differently, what will happen is you will become a conscious or subconscious trigger to people, showing them where they feel lacking in their life or where they are not acting in their own best interest or being true to their own energy. It also uncovers their realized or unknown wounds, or just old resentments, just old, sticky, lower vibrational energy that they need to work on. But you may be the target of their ire. And I will bring up a example of this in my life. And I would just say, don't take their BS, okay? Just do not accept it. It may not be comfortable at first, but maybe confronting them that eventually you can stand up for yourself or remove yourself from the situation or both. But the very first, you can just acknowledge to yourself that it's not okay. And as many of us intuitive folk do when we are not properly grounded and shielded, and we don't actively shed others' unpleasant energy, is that we can act in ways that hurt ourselves. For me, it has long been overeating or just sort of bed rotting, just scrolling or reading in bed when I just feel like I've been psychically and energetically overwhelmed. But getting back to you being a mirror or a trigger for these people, your energetic state, your new energetic state, your true state, shows the cracks in their facade or their armor to themselves. And people may hate you for it because no one likes being called out on their own nonsense. Case in point for me, I am part of, well, was part of what I felt was a true friend group where people who my spouse had gone to college with and been friends with and had been friends with he and his former spouse. I felt like after 15 years or so, I've forgotten how long it was exactly, that maybe we were real friends and maybe that we had a real relationship, that we really liked and respected each other. So, what happened? I would say around 3 years ago, throughout your life, you will undergo energetic shifts as you grow and evolve and become more of who you are, or you will grow and evolve into a new person. And I did that. It was also accompanied by weight gain, not due to COVID, but I'd had some issues in my life and I had a long episode of binging, and I gained a lot of weight. And I was treated as if I was something sticky on the bottom of their shoe, or if I had a persistent bad smell about me. And I promise you, I did not, because I love my baths and showers. But to them, my energy had shifted, and people who had previously been very friendly, very kind to me, or just rude, to the point where I felt horribly betrayed. But what I've come to see is that I've evolved, right? I evolved physically, but I also evolved energetically. And I realized that these people were never my friends. And I'm glad I realized it, over a decade too late. But I would at best be tolerated for no reason of my own. And if what masked it was me having a slimmer, more attractive body, then I'm glad I got to know who they really were at that point in my life before something truly difficult happened and I might have needed them and then been horribly surprised when I did not have that support. So I think a combination of my energetic evolution and my weight triggered something in them. Like, why does it matter to them if I gain weight? I'm not in a relationship with them. Why should it matter? But it's not a perfect example, but it's funny that I felt it came at a point in my life when I felt I was becoming more myself. The irony is, when I first met them, I was around the weight I am now, and then I lost weight, and then I regained it. But I think it's more than just my physical appearance that caused this real change in attitude. So it's really painful. I won't lie about it. And there's just some hard truths about authenticity that you need to understand. It's painful for some people to see growth, and sometimes it is a wholly conscious, meany decision. In other situations, they are unconsciously doing this. But the truth of the matter is, it is entirely hurtful and it's unnecessary, and there's no reason for them to treat you that way. But they do it. People, once you become your true self, people who are triggered may betray you. They may backstab you. In a best case scenario, they grow along with you, or they may simply fade out of your life. And you may find that a few months or years even down the line that you have a completely different set of friends, in some cases, completely different life than you had before you stepped into your authenticity. And if it feels like a death of your current self, it is. It often is. And I encourage you to look up information about ego death, though I think a lot of it is fraught, and there are lots of people who claim to have undergone ego deaths, who are just horribly narcissistic and whatnot. But as we move through life, we change and we become different selves, and we do have to mourn the death of that former self. So be prepared. Stay tuned into your intuition. If you know that you are on the correct path, what you are doing is, in fact, the right thing for you, even if things seem to be melting down around you, the things that are truly meant for you are going to remain, and new and better things will come to replace what has been taken away from you or fallen away. So, what do you do when you find yourself in this situation? Evolve, continue to evolve. Do not give up or backpedal from your self growth, because you really can't. If you try to stay in that shell, the one you previously inhabited, your life will fall apart or you will fall apart. And I've experienced both. And you really want to be kinder to yourself. So mourn what needs to be let go. Mourn those people or those things or those situations, or even the death of a self you may once have loved or once have striven to be, and once you've achieved it, you've outgrown it, needs to be let go. Second, learn who you are now. I attended a meditation today by the wonderful Adrienne, who is a friend of mine here on YouTube, and she does awesome, self hypnosis. But we did a meditation, and it was about knowing yourself. And I've come to see that throughout life, we have to come to know ourself, our evolving self, again and again, because the person you were at 16 is probably not going to wholly be the person you are at 60. So learn who you are now. Leave people behind. Not everyone is going to come along with us. There's that old saying about people are with you for a reason, a season, or a purpose, or for a lifetime. And it can be hard to realize that someone you had a close relationship with, you quite often see this in workplaces where, especially in the modern workplace, where you work longer and longer hours and you have to be available when you're off the clock. You develop these intense relationships with people that are only through work. And when the job is over, if you get let go or you leave, they're just gone. They're gone from your life. The only thing that really held you together, even though you thought you were friends, was that environment. But I say honor that. So leave them behind, either full no contact, limited interaction. If you don't have that, then create mental and energetic distance first and see how it evolves. You don't have to blow up and completely cut off a relationship at the knees. You can focus on your change and let it evolve naturally. Of course, I'm going to tell you to tap into your intuition and trust it. If you are having difficulty doing that, please watch some of my earlier podcasts that tell you just how to do that very thing, how to hear your intuition, how to validate it. But if you know that the time has come for you to fully step into a new self, to lay aside the things that truly aren't you or aren't you at this stage in your life, your intuition and your resolve are what will get you through the difficulties, the pain of growth. Granted, tapping into your intuition makes this evolution easier because you make fewer missteps, you make more of the right next best steps. And one way you can be tuned into your intuition, I'm speaking from personal experience, and make a misstep is when you don't follow the intuitive advice you receive. You are afraid, or you think, well, I know I'm being told what to do, not to do something, but it looks so good on paper. It should be the right thing, yet it feels wrong. You need to follow that intuitive advice. And it's something I'm wrestling with now, and maybe I'll do an episode about it. But above all, don't stop the momentum. You will regret it. You cannot you cannot go back in your shell. A caterpillar can't go back in the cocoon once it's become a butterfly. You must keep evolving. So I hope this helps. I hope it helps you to see that once you step into your authentic self, once you tune into your intuition, as you grow and evolve and your energetic signature and your pattern changes, that it may not be met with open arms and kindness. So, if you would like a little more advice and a bit of hand holding, I must say, around making changes, I'm soon going to be doing an energetic spring cleaning 14-day free program where you get daily prompts from me on letting things go. It'll be in my free Pathfinders Telegram-based community. Links to sign up for that will be in the show notes. If you sign up and you join the Telegram community, you will automatically be in. Also, if you feel like you're going through this evolution alone and you would like some one-on-one advice, you can also get brief advice within Pathfinders. I do it twice a month, but you can also reach out to me for a one-on-one session. And information about that will be in the show notes. So until next week, stay in your energy, keep evolving, know that things will improve if you remain true to yourself. You will find a way. And I won't pretend that it'll be easy, but as long as you are aligned and on your path, it will all work out to your ultimate benefit. So take good care. Lots of love. Bye now.